So I've received an email asking whether I read for myself, and if I do, how do I do it? And the answer is yes, almost always daily. Sometimes I consciously take time out, maybe a weekend. Maybe if I'm going on holiday, I may consciously not read the cards to give myself a break. If I'm going on holiday and I've consciously chosen to give myself a break, this is really brutally honest, I take a sealed deck of cards with me so that if I urgently need to do a reading for myself, I can, but I won't be tempted just to grab the cards and shuffle. So, no, I never travel without my cards, but sometimes I take a sealed deck. These are the questions that I would normally do for a general reading for myself. Probably the most usual one is the second one. So quite often I will shuffle and I will just do, and I'll do this for trying to think, for Thursday. It is currently Tuesday the 5th of November. On Thursday, I have blocked out some time from client time, and I'm not sure whether I should use that for leisure or research and writing. So quite often I will look at my diary, and I might do this for the day if it's in the morning, or I might look ahead to my diary and see a day that I'm not sure on, and I will just do 3 cards. What should my focus be for today or that particular day? So I'm choosing what should my focus be for on Thursday when I have a little bit more time than I normally would. So we've got, and I do 3 cards. I like 3 cards because it allows me to look at the communication between the cards. They're not generally meant to be past, present, future, but sometimes they just fall in that way. And I always look at the card at the bottom of the pack. So for Thursday, we do have the Hermit. That would refer to, for me, that would refer to research, doing some writing, but taking the time alone. And I do enjoy researching and writing about tarot and just, getting absorbed in it. But the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords, that would suggest taking time out, doing something for myself. And the Seven of Swords is deception. It's quite hard for me to go out on my own because I've got 4 kids and there's always someone that wants to tag along, which is wonderful, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. But just sometimes I want to be on my own. So I'm identifying this for research and reading, but also to be alone, and a feeling that maybe I should say I'm doing shopping, but really go for a coffee. Something of that nature. So a feeling of balance there. And the Four of Wands is home and hearth. Maybe I do spend some time playing a couple of games with my kids because that's what I would identify as a favourite home activity. So I'm reading them quite practically, which is what I would often do for myself. Probably the most usual regular reading I do for myself is What Do I Need to Know? Now, you can make this specific. You can say, what do I need to know about my relationship? What do I need to know about work? What do I need to know about how I'm feeling? But and we have the King of Pentacles pop out there. If a card pops out, I normally put it back, but I remember I've seen it. So what do I need to know? Right now, right here, at this moment. And what you're doing is you're giving the tarot the space to say what they want to say. And I've noticed a lot of my regular clients will automatically at some point in the session say, and what do I need to know? Because they know if they don't ask it, I probably will. The Hanged Man. I think it's important that I change my perspective on my work-life balance and that I continue to take more time out to rest, which I am doing. And I think that was highlighted by by my reading for Thursday. When I do What Do I Need to Know, I find that the cards can be a bit bit snarky, a little bit kind of gobby, if you like. At its core, the Lovers means balance. We've got masculine and feminine, yin and yang. But an older meaning of the word lovers is choice. And the cards are reminding me that it is my choice to be over busy, and that it's important that I choose to relax more, because the Hanged Man can be to relax. It can be at its core, the root of the word man is mind, and to hang is to suspend. It is to suspend the mind, and I'm not good at that. So what I need to know is it's important to suspend the mind, to really let go and relax more. And we've got the Lovers and the Two of Cups. Now, I am currently single. Oh, Three of Swords card at the bottom of the pack. I don't think this is suggesting that there's a romance round the corner, but well, if there is, I would happily accept that. Actually, I think it it is about releasing past emotions. The Three of Swords are thrust through the open heart, releasing emotions from my past marriage. I would love it if I'm wrong. And if I was reading for a client, the way that I would express this, I would give both meanings. I would say, I get a sense that maybe you need to release some emotions connected to a relationship. And if you're single, then perhaps there's a new relationship on the horizon. And if you're in a relationship, perhaps you need to prioritize your relationship at this point. Because to me, those cards could mean any one of those things. And it's interesting, prioritizing a relationship. Unfortunately, despite being divorced and separated from my husband for 4 years, things have got a little bit tense again. Not with me, I don't see him, but between him and the children. And it has deeply triggered me. So I think that's what that's about. But notice I didn't give any sort of direction for the cards. Now, the next one, when I was thinking about this, about what I thought, I'm just going to be really honest. Frey, any advice? Now, obviously, that's very, and just to point out, the King of Pentacles in that reading, I think that was just reminding me to enjoy myself. So, Frey, any advice? Frey is the name of my favourite spirit guide. I know we're not supposed to have favourites in life, but I do. I adore working with the Norse deity Frey. He is my constant companion in all my shamanic adventures and in daily life as well. And if I have a tough decision to make, or I really need honest advice, I will often direct the question at Frey. Now, I am not suggesting that you direct your question at Frey. You may know who your spirit guide is. You may prefer to work with angels, or a lost loved one, or you may just use the word spirit guide or fetch or fulia or whatever word works for you. You don't need to know who your spirit guide is to ask them for help. So let's ask Frey. Any advice right now? Just asking. And what will be curious is is it very similar to what do I need to know, or because I'm directly asking my spirit guide now, is the information different? We've got the 8, and again, you'll notice I almost always do 3 cards. I forget to talk about my technique when I'm reading because I'm so focused on reading. I like 3 cards. Thank you, Frey. I find Frey to be very helpful and protective, which is rather nice. So his answers tend to be a little bit more gentle than the core tarot. I tend to do 3 cards. You'll notice I also read them all upright. That's because I like to find the message between the cards. The 8 of Wands, it's out of your hands. There's nobody in the picture. This has been a card I've had a lot recently. It's very much connected with the family situation and reminding me it is no longer my role to get involved with my ex-husband. Hurrah! What a relief that is. Strength. core meaning of the word strength is to be kind to ourselves, to learn to accept us. The lion can represent the things that we don't like about ourselves, to learn to accept ourselves for who we are right now, and just to be kind to myself. And the King of Swords, I often see this as being organized, good management, good life management, to make sure that my life is organized so that I have the time to be kind to myself. Card at the bottom of the pack. The Five of Swords can be about arguments and slander, and believe me, there have been some nasty things circulating me about me recently from the family situation. This is reminding me not to take it personally. So you can see it is curious. That was a much more personal message when I direct it to my main spirit guide. Like I say, please, if you're not connected to the North, I mean, you can try it, won't do you any harm, but it would be much more helpful to work with your spirit guide. Even if you're just using the words, what does my spirit guide have any advice? And then I do very regularly do my reflection spread. I think of this as mirroring. Where am I? Am I doing how I think I am, or am I more worried or more overworked than I realize, or actually am I doing better than I think? So just running through this really quickly. How am I doing right now? Card in the middle. This represents where I am and how I am. And actually, yeah, I'm really enjoying my kids now. They're young adults. They're amazing company. I've got great friends. I had an amazing session in the Barns at the weekend when there's some people there. Well, I was delighted to see everyone there, but there were some people I hadn't seen for a while. And I just felt very, very loved and very happy. And the Nine of Cups, I'm feeling quite optimistic about the future. It is true. This is the card in my unconscious. I actually often link this to my spiritual practice, which is literally called Starve, and Staff is there. But it's independence, individuality. If you've ever seen Wild at Heart with Nicolas Cage, when he talks about his snakeskin jacket being a symbol of my individuality, I feel much more comfortable being who I am right now. So this is me. I'm learning to trust that the future, I can make wishes for the future. That's something I need to integrate into my life, but I'm getting there. This is my unconscious. I do feel like I'm on solid ground. Looking to my past, the Ace of Swords, it's taken a lot of emotional honesty to get to this point. Looking at my conscious mind, the home. Curiously enough, our landlord has finally fixed the roof that's been leaking for some years. We're actually getting on with neighbours, which we haven't done for some time for various reasons, and that's really nice. And I'm feeling a lot more stable in my home and my home life. So this is my conscious mind, my unconscious mind, my past, my present. Now let's hope the future is good too. It is. Being kind to myself. I always look at the card at the bottom of the pack. There's always a fly in the ointment somewhere, huh? A very telling spread. Life is good. I feel independent. I'm happy in my own life. I feel loved. I'm learning to be kind to myself. I just need to break free of some last self-limiting beliefs. But hey, we're never completely done. So I know that's been a whistle-stop tour of how I read for myself. My most usual spread is going to be 3 cards with the card at the bottom of the pack, 4 in total. What do I need to know? And you could ask that about a specific situation, or you could make it general. I regularly do 3 cards for what should my focus be today. And I often look ahead to a day where I've got choices and ask 3 cards, what should the focus be? I do often ask my spirit guide any advice, and I will often do these 2 spreads one after the other, looking for the similarities and the difference. And maybe a couple of times a week I check in, how am I doing? Because it's useful to get that honest mirror on how I'm doing. If you have anything you'd like me to cover in the videos, feel free to put it in the comments or to email me. I can't promise, but I'll definitely do my best.